doing that with so much passion. I have so much to really appreciate you for, because you're inspiring a lot of people that you don't even know. And people are going to really, really listen up and enjoy a whole lot from this conversation. So let me introduce you, Angela. Tell us about yourself. Who is Angela, and what inspires you?
Okay, so good evening, everyone listening on. You are you have Angela Chidiogo Anyekwe here. At the moment, I'm a cybersecurity analyst at Digis. Digis is a cybersecurity company that renders cybersecurity solutions to other companies. And I'm actually a very curious techie because why I say this is because I could wake up tomorrow and I'm a cloud engineer, and I could wake up tomorrow, I'm in machine learning or blockchain. So at the moment, I'm a cybersecurity analyst, but there is always more to what I can be in tech and what I can be generally in life. So I'm always driven by that curiosity. That is what propels me the most. And out of techies or out of being a techie, I love fashion a whole lot, and I'm very, very family and friends oriented. So I think it gives me that balanced life and all of it. So other things you would want to learn about me is maybe according to how we meet and where we meet and the situations. So I think this is a bit about me, and that's all. I'm quite an ordinary person. Yeah.
So, Angela, your journey into tech is very amazing. You said it. You were someone who loves fashion, then you wanted to be a software engineer, so you felt like cybersecurity was the kind of way that you could be able to branch into tech. Then you kind of fall in love with cybersecurity. So tell us a little bit about your journey into tech.
Okay, so my journey started um, to cybersecurity started in 2020, and I give all thanks to Enugu State government through the Enugu SME for helping me achieve this goal. It was their program and collaboration with CyberSafe Foundation. CyberSafe Foundation is a very popular cybersecurity community in Africa. They partnered with CyberSafe and they gave us a 7 month training. And during the course of the 7 months, we learned a whole lot. I learned a whole lot alongside other learners. Like every other person, it was really difficult because I was coming from a non-tech background. I studied public administration in school, so it was a whole lot of challenge trying to learn about computers, learn about concepts in networking, learn about core cybersecurity, learn about how it is being integrated in codes, it is being integrated in networks, it is being integrated in the cloud and all of other stuff. So, but at the end of the day, it eventually ended in me becoming a better person than I was before I got in. And after then, it was struggling to get a job, struggling to get known, and all of those good stuff. But one thing was this is what I tell people all the time. This was one of my personal best practices that helped me get to this level as a cybersecurity analyst. Cybersecurity is very broad, and during the training, I chose a path, DevSecOps. So I learned about DevSecOps, but DevSecOps is the extreme end of DevOps, meaning that you are combining security actively with another career in tech that is much more engaged in DevOps. So it was just because I wanted to be able to get grounded doing DevSecOps that got me into DevOps. I had to go learn DevOps after the training, 7 months training. I spent about 5 months learning DevOps. Eventually, I was also during my training, I was also doing a side thing called technical writing. So I eventually got job as a technical writer, and eventually I was able to convince my boss to give me a DevOps role. I did it for a few months before the company eventually um, we didn't eventually launch. So a few months after, I got a job as a cybersecurity analyst in Digis. And like every other cybersecurity analyst out there, it is not just, I'm going to say this also for people to know, because most people conflict cybersecurity with SOC analysts. Even though as a cybersecurity analyst, I do SOC, but the role is much more. So it helps me to bring out the experiences I've had in the time past, doing DevOps, doing cloud, doing DevSecOps, writing, to combine everything together in one role as a cybersecurity analyst. So cybersecurity analyst is what a term that is used to refer to professionals working in cybersecurity. So as you grow up in your career, or according to your career needs, you may now want to niche out to becoming a core cloud security analyst, or a core application security analyst, or a core security engineer as you go up to managerial and the rest of it. So basically, this is how it has been, and it hasn't stopped. The passion to even get there, to be at the forefront of leading an organization's people, process, technological strategies, and incident response procedures, defense mechanism is still there. So I have not stopped with the passion. As a cybersecurity analyst at today, I still hope, and I'm still working actively hard to get to the point where I can be able to be at the front line of companies' defense, and all of those strategies and solutions I can bring to a company as a cybersecurity professional. So that is
All
it.
right. You've said a whole lot, and I want to look at some very key few things there. Number one, what are the main technical skills that you learned that got you into the cybersecurity analyst role? That the main, what we say are the main technical skills?
Okay, so the main technical skills needed to get a job as a cybersecurity analyst at the entry level is basic. They are just the low-hanging fruits. Cybersecurity analyst mostly is an entry-level role, so you don't need so much. All you just need is understand how computer systems work, understand the interconnectedness of systems through networking,
Okay.
understand how the cloud works. And if you
Okay.
can stretch yourself a bit further, you can get to understand the offensive side of cybersecurity and threat intelligence, threat hunting. Understanding is key more than implementing. So you have to really be able to grasp all those
So
concepts.
I'm tracking something there. So
Yes,
understanding is key more than implementing. All right. So you need
yes,
to really understand networking. You need to really understand um, how system works. You need to understand how the cloud works. Then,
yes.
oh yeah. So I'm with you.
So I think that is the basic. And then if you want to cap it up, then you can go ahead to do projects in those fields. You can go ahead
Oh,
to some networking projects, do some encryption projects, do some network attack projects. All of those ones are secondary, but getting to understand or know what your job is in protecting those systems is the number one. Then every other thing can come up according to what your strength can carry and what is required in the actual field or in the actual career you want to pursue in cybersecurity. But the basics are most important for an entry level.
all right,
Yes.
great. So let me have this now. For you, what is a day in your job like as a cybersecurity analyst? Give us a breakdown. What's a day in your job like?
Okay, so as a cybersecurity analyst, the most thing I do on a work day is incident response, and um, at the other side, proactive threat hunting. This is what drives my workday, and it forms a big part of my KPI, my performance as a cybersecurity analyst. Proactive threat hunting, staying abreast of intelligence, the threat intelligence out there, and how it affects our clients. And then, as part of the threat hunting, too, also has to do with On a daily basis, I and my team will always look at the environment of our clients to ensure that they are sticking to all the best practices, both industry, compliance best practices, security configurations, they are getting everything right, and their users too are not posing as a threat to the company. So all of these activities, vulnerability management, and sometimes we have to, as a team, also think about, how we can make the incident response procedure better and better again. So all of these are broken down into activities that we do on a daily basis according to what hour we are in and at that particular point in time. But the
Hmm.
breadth and the depth of the work for the day is incident response and threat hunting.
Oh, great. So when you talk about incident response, what EDRs do you use for incident response?
Okay, I would have loved to say that, but we don't talk about our
Oh,
tools.
yeah, I understand. Basically, I
Yeah,
understand.
business related. So,
Okay, great. So let's ask this now. How did you get your first job as a cybersecurity analyst?
okay, so I was recommended by a friend. We both learned cybersecurity together, and he got in before me. And once immediately there was an opening. It was an internal knowledge. He had to speak to the boss about me, and I sent my CV. I was ready for interview. I had my first interview at 9 p.m. in the night. This was an interview that was scheduled by 8 p.m. in the night. I had it at 9 p.m. and my boss was impressed about how my journey so far had been, all the skills I've acquired so far, all the projects I had done as at then, my blog at Hashnode, where I was engaged actively writing on cybersecurity, DevOps, and DevSecOps ecosystem. So that was eventually when it got to the technical interview, they were also impressed the way I went about the whole thing, and that was how I didn't apply for any job. I just got it based on referral.
Okay, so yes, I can get something from there. So it's more like you had a friend, so that means you had a community of yeah,
Yes,
of that's number one. And also before that time, it means you've been doing a lot of writings, publications, right? So what platform do you write? What platform?
I Hashnode,
Oh,
Hashnode,
yeah.
and I was a writer at Academy Stack LLC as at then too. So, but I had a personal blog on Hashnode.
Okay, great. Then in terms of certifications, yeah, so you have CompTIA. How did
Okay, so I just got CompTIA few months ago in September, and I had AWS and Azure done 4 days apart sometime in June last year. And before getting the job, I'd worked up to 8 months in this job before I got my first start. So before getting the job, I was basically heavy on skills. It is always skills over certification, especially for entry levels,
Hmm.
because anybody can have a cert, trust me, but anybody, it's not everybody that can do the job. And if you go for skills before certification, it helps you write the certification and you pass it better. But
Hmm.
then it is what it is. The industry also requires you to write certain certifications. At least it helps you stand out better during job applications and the rest of it. So if you can afford to go for certification, you go for it. And if you're trying to look for entry level certifications to get in cybersecurity, you can go with CompTIA. CompTIA Security Plus is the cheapest and the most wide world recognized certification you can have out there. So CompTIA Security Plus, if you intend to go through the path or through the route of security analysts, usually the CompTIA CISA Plus is reserved for people who have up to 3 years experience in the field. But if you do not have such experience and you also want to go through the route of being a security analyst, you can write either CompTIA Security Plus or you write CompTIA CISA Plus. But also, if you cannot afford any of those, you can go for, if you get voucher to write EJPT or CEH, the theory aspect of CEH, you can always go there. But recently there is ISC Square, they have certified in cybersecurity. You can, if you don't have money to get CompTIA, you can always get ISC Squared. At least everybody should have ISC Squared certified in cybersecurity, and then build your skill up. When you eventually get a job, your company should be able to support you to get those certifications. But if you can get them on your own and you can actually do what it takes to get them, then I think you should go for CompTIA Security Plus or CompTIA CISA Plus. And it's also okay to add a few class certifications to it because most organizations use the cloud as of today. So it will also help you to get jobs in with organizations that have more of their workloads on the cloud, even as a cybersecurity person. So whether you are tilting towards cloud security, cloud engineering at the long run, I think having cloud certifications is also very key, as well as the CompTIA certifications for cybersecurity. That is for those who can afford it. But if you can't afford it, it is totally fine. Just make sure that you have enough skills, enough projects done behind the scene as you are going for your job applications and such.
So, how has your certification helped you and your career?
Okay, so like I said, I went for CISA Plus because it is more tilted on the cybersecurity analyst role. And there was something very key that I learned in CISA, and that was in the area of threat intelligence and communication and email forensics. So my threat intelligence, threat hunting skills had become better. Trust me, I can come up with better hypothesis than I used to have before I took the certification. And aside from the daily application in my job, it actually has given me, like in my career, better reputation because before I got the certification, I know I lost out on a lot of deals because there is no certification to prove that I've gotten to this level, especially when I'm coming from a non background. So it gives me that more of reputation and also in real-time application in my job.
So, you did the certification once, or it was a multiple try?
Yeah, once I wrote it once.
Wow. So, we were supposed to call you a few way. How did you prepare? You prepared. How did you prepare? How did you prepare for it?
Oh, that was a lot. Everybody in my office was encouraging me because CompTIA Sciencer Plus is really difficult, I must say. There is a whole lot that you have to learn that is not in the day-to-day cybersecurity trainings that you get out there. So I gave it the towards the first start of preparation. I was doing 6 hours at least 5 times in a week. And then I studied for between June, July, August. I wrote it in September eventually. So the first 2 months I was doing 6 hours at least 5 times in a week. Then towards the end, after I've covered all my materials, I
Reading. Straight
yes,
reading.
yes,
Wow.
seriously, I used two materials. I used I've forgotten his name, James, somebody on LinkedIn. I took all of his Comtia Sisa Plus course, and then I used Certified Breakfast on YouTube. I took everything on the playlist. I was actively writing, taking notes for each of the course, and every day I try to go over what I took the day before, then apply it to the new day and the rest of it. So eventually I had a lot of practice questions coming from here and there from people who know that I am writing the exam. And eventually I was really scared if I was going to pass or not, but it is what it is. I pulled through.
Congratulations for that. So, you said you cybersecurity is actually rewarding. You wanted to actually go to software engineering or development, but you stayed at cybersecurity. So, two quick questions. Number one, um, how financially rewarding is cybersecurity for you?
Okay. So how financially rewarding it is that just like every other part of tech, at least entry level, you are sure to get something that somebody at the same level in other aspects of in other careers won't get. And there is opportunities for acceleration, meaning that you can today you can be earning, let's take for instance, you can be earning 100K, and in 3 months you've gone to 180 or 150. In 6 months you should be having like 150% of what you started with initially. And just like every other aspect of tech, you could get gigs. I've done quite a lot of cybersecurity gigs. And and I think aside from the rewards, if you measure entry level cybersecurity with software engineering, entry level software engineer earns more than entry level cybersecurity analyst. I must be very honest to say this. But
Yeah.
cybersecurity is like a journey that can live throughout your life. There is always career opportunities for career growth at every point in time. And cybersecurity gives you more visibility than software engineering would give you on a normal day. And you can grow from becoming just a nobody to becoming a CISO in less than 10 years. And maybe your counterparts in software engineering will be struggling with being CTOs and the rest of it. And we've gone way ahead. And you can also double as a CTO. You can be able to fit in different roles that normally cybersecurity engineers wouldn't get to, just because of the fact that cybersecurity has this intersection with business. So you are balancing both at the same time. So it makes you more qualified than, to get into that higher level.
So this is interesting. Then you're looking at 5 to 6 years from now. What are your thoughts? What are your plans in the security world or generally?
Okay. I think 5 to 6 years from now is a whole lot of time. I don't make those kind of very long term plans. Um, I just like to make my plans every 1 year, so that at the end of 5 years I can look back and say it's what it's, right? So what my plan is in the next 1 year is to become a senior security analyst at the
Mm.
least. Yeah, so I eventually am trying to cover up for serious cloud implementation and security. And I have DevOps background that has not left. So eventually I am making efforts, and eventually I'm going to get a managerial certification by the end of the year, so that I can be more qualified to get into the senior level. But after 1 year, I can now assess what I have to do for the next. After I've achieved this, I'll go for the next one. Then in 5 years, I see what it sums up to.
So I see that you also have a passion for teaching, yeah, cybersecurity, and you've talked about teaching in, you've talked about Pura Code and AT skills. What passion do you have for teaching people?
Okay. How would I say it? Okay, it's not like I have passion to teach people. I just have passion to help people get into the field. It was difficult for me to get in. For 2 years, I was looking for how to start. And eventually the opportunity came. And all the lapses, all the things that I couldn't learn easily when I was starting out, I have devised 1,001 ways to teach someone that same thing in a way that in 1 minute he or she would understand. So I just want to bridge the gap between people who are trying to get in and the actual cybersecurity by just helping them come up faster, right? So, and also I use that to build career mentorship, coaching, and then public speaking skills. So those were the reasons why I had to go through that route as well.
All right, great. So, um, let me see if there's a question here or something. Okay, while I wait for a question here, so DevOps and cybersecurity, for you, which one was more difficult?
DevOps is a top job. Is a top. If you see someone doing DevOps, just give them a hug. DevOps is a top job, trust me. Cybersecurity too is a top job, but I think why cybersecurity didn't prove so much difficulty for me was because I was coming from DevOps space. So I've seen harder scenarios. So it was just like I was already prepared to be here. But DevOps was really a top job, trust me.
Then, what's the worst? Okay, great. Have you ever thought of giving up on in cybersecurity? Like, what was the worst scenario you met that you felt like giving up?
Yes, that was during the start when I was learning. For the first 4 months, I wouldn't lie to you, I didn't learn anything. I was going to give up, but then I couldn't give up because if I gave up, I was going to start something new, and I don't know what I was going to meet there if I started new somewhere else. So I had to just continue encouraging myself. And DevOps too, I gave up on DevOps several times and I picked up as well. So it's a very tough, especially when you don't have people who are, you know, guiding you. It can be tougher than that. But then, all thanks to everyone around me.
So you had a lot of people that were encouraging you, right?
Yes, I still have them till today. I had a lot of them.
How did you get your community? How did you get to the communities?
Okay, initially, I'm very active on LinkedIn. I opened my account, my first class in cybersecurity. That was when I created that in 2022. And because I was new to the field, I was really looking for people who are already doing what I do so that I can actually watch how they build their personal brands and see how what happens in the industry better. So over there, during the training, they were for our own program. Will be about 70 something persons learning as at the same time as myself. And in cyber safe, there were more than 100. So in total, I started out with over 170 something persons in the community who are learning the same thing I learn on a daily basis. So eventually, I joined another community called Young CISO Network. So there too, I met a lot of people as well. I did a lot of projects during that program. And eventually, once I hear that there's a gathering of cybersecurity analysts, I just join them. And when I get there, I try as much as possible to make friends.
So if there are projects that you advise someone to do in cybersecurity, what will you advise to be projects
Okay.
to boost
Yeah.
your job
So
career?
I would think for a cybersecurity analyst, you should be able to be conversant with firewalls, um, SIM tools. I don't know some vulnerability management solutions and the rest. So projects that can help you maybe integrate a security tool on the cloud is a very end-to-end project that can give you a lot of experiences along the way. Projects that like setting up a SIM solution is a whole lot. It can give you a lot of experiences and challenges along the way that can strengthen you. Project like end-to-end vulnerability management for both endpoints and network and host and the rest of it can as well give you, because you have to bring a lot of computers together, you have to get them to network, you have to get them to report, you have to get them to automatically remediate. So when you can do like all these three projects, you should be able to scale through any interview and the rest of it. So basically,
Okay, so this is not supposed to be part of the questions, but someone is saying that when are you getting married?
oh, does he want to marry me? Please help me ask him, Abby. Is he listening? Is he looking for a wife? No, you don't ask people when they are getting married now. No. Yeah, so it's not a question I can answer right now.
All right, sure. That was a joke. So, nevertheless, thank you. Not to waste too much of your time. Thank you for this session. It's been a really enlightening one. You said so much that we could be able to grasp, and we've learned a lot about this, the main skills, the roadmaps, the technical skills, the person you have to be a cybersecurity analyst. We also learned about basically the projects you need to do, how important it is to join communities, how important it is to also do personal branding, reach out to people that will recommend you for jobs, and we've learned about someone's asking a question. Let me just say, we learned about all of these things, and I feel this is what every young person who wants to start a cybersecurity career should know, because it's and also your growth and progression has been inspiring. I got to learn that you got an award. Yeah, your company, right? The most
Yeah,
improved. Is it the most improved or the most what?
yeah, professional development.
Professional development. Wow, that's incredible. And
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's great. Congratulations to that. And we'll always keep tab on you, because you keep growing, and we'll always keep tab on you.
Okay.
Yeah, so before I close up, someone's asking here, what emerging cybersecurity threats should we be aware of in 2025?
Okay. I have two, and one of them is in cybersecurity threat that comes with the use of artificial intelligence. Now,
Okay.
AI has stolen the day. We all know that. And now, as industries, people who create cybersecurity solutions are integrating AI for more advanced threat detection. Threats actors on their own parts may also want to start deploying AI-related threats or use artificial intelligence in to deploy malware and the rest of it. So that is another area I think people who are coming into cybersecurity and or people who want to do more than the day-to-day cybersecurity should look at. And in 2025, quantum computing was an experiment that started in the 20th century. And as of 2020, it has gained prominence. Quantum computing itself is a threat to cybersecurity, in as much as it's an innovation that can aid the use of computers. It has the potential to break cryptographic algorithms. So these are the things that we use to protect systems and data. And imagine a technological invention breaking those controls. So these are the kind of things that we as cybersecurity person people are looking out for, how we can better tighten our defenses against things that have to do with threats from AI and then threats from the innovation of quantum computing.
All right. So you said Can you share a challenging cybersecurity incident you've dealt with and how you resolved it?
Okay. So really there was okay, now it is not we have automated systems and it helps us to do lesser work, focus on the more strategic work. So most of the cybersecurity incidents that we've handled so far are blocked by or mitigated automatically by advanced tools. So all you have to do is just to analyze the trend and ensure that the configurations is proactive to stop something like that or even a higher incident from actually penetrating. So the rest of it is just ensuring that we are able to protect proactively. That is why we work round the clock so that we don't have that kind of cybersecurity incident that will breach the trust of our clients. So most of our jobs as threat hunters is to make sure that we are finding the faults before they eventually happen,
Oh,
right? And the
excellent.
rest of our tools do that.
Excellent. So, what tools and techniques would you recommend for
Okay,
effective incident?
okay. For effective incident response, the first one is your incident response procedures and strategies. You have to make sure that they are not coming after an incident has happened. So that is the basic. Then for tools, you have to ensure that you are using advanced solutions. I mean, advanced solutions are tools that have machine learning integrated into them, artificial intelligence for automated mitigations and the likes. It will save you a lot of work and a
Okay, do
lot
you have
of
examples of anyone?
so now I would recommend if you know about um, Microsoft Sentinel is very perfect, and Google. I've forgotten the name of that one from Google, and then if you want IDRs, that is Microsoft Sentinel, you can go for Rapid7 products. Even Splunk is very
It's long,
strategic.
right?
Yes, it's very strategic. And if you're talking about advanced EDR solutions, you should be looking at CrowdStrike Falcon. You should be looking at tools like Sentinel One. You should be looking at secure web gateway tools and other DLP solutions that the ones that I know are the ones that we use. I don't really want to mention them for business sake. So
Great. So, how do you see the future of cybersecurity in the next decade?
okay, cybersecurity is not going anywhere. It's until we have people who do crime no more before we can stop having cybersecurity. So
Yeah.
they will keep the need for cybersecurity professional and cybersecurity solutions will not stop. If there was 1,000 need last year in 2025, before the end of there should be 10,000 needs in
So that means
20.
the cybersecurity analyst will always be in job for a long time,
Yes,
right?
there is always job for us. Yeah.
Oh, great. Excellent. So those are the questions I have. So I think we can wrap up now. Thank you so much for the time. We are so grateful, and we say thank you.
Thank
And
you.
we would like to hear good news of your strides again and of
Yeah,
your growth.
thank you very much. It was nice to
All right.
be here,
Thank you.
and thank you for the opportunity to speak to the community.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.